Hey guys, today I'm going to get back to my roots. I'm going to show you a Walther PPK that is one of a kind. Now I did get away from doing Walthers for a little bit in order to give you a little variety, and a few of you said you're going into withdrawal. You want to see one of a kind Walther PPs and PPKs, so that's what I'm going to show you today. But before I do, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping in order to keep you informed on things that are going on here at Legacy Collectibles. And first and foremost, if you remember, this is the replica Adolf Hitler gold engraved gun. And I did 2 videos on this, and many of you said, when you decide to sell it, let me know. So I'm just letting our subscribers and viewers know that we are going to be putting this on the website, and price to be determined, but it's not cheap. But we are going to be putting that on the website, so I'm just giving you that update. I'm now ready to move it along. Secondly, I wanted to give you an update on the Ava Braun ring. We did sell it. It sold for over $5,000. Several of you said, please let us know how much it goes for. It went for about double my expectation, which is all good because the money is going to charity. And I mentioned the 3 charities where we'll be donating the proceeds from the sale of this ring. And third, I just have to tell you about one of our favorite customers. He actually will appreciate this PPK because he is a Walther collector and been doing business with me since before I started this company. And I learned about a week ago that he had gone into the hospital. He was in intensive care. And so I was thinking about him that night when I went home, and lo and behold, up on the website, I see 2 sales to my customer. He bought 2 guns right off the website. So I called him the next morning and said, wow, you really got out of there quickly. Everything must be fine. And he said, no, Tom, I'm in intensive care. And I said, well, wait a minute. You bought 2 guns last night. And lo and behold, first time ever, kudos to, I'm not going to say his name, HIPAA violation, but kudos to this customer who bought 2 guns while he was in intensive care. Now, that man deserves a standing ovulation. Let's give it up. Give it up, gentlemen, ladies. Thank you. And thanks for being a loyal customer. Now, let's get back to our Walther PPK. Okay, so it's time to unwrap this package. As I mentioned, it's a Walther PPK, and it is one of a kind. I've never seen one like it before. I'm sure that it's real, and if another one exists out there, let us know because I'm gathering data. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see better. So we start off with a fairly average looking AK holster. There is a name on the back. I don't know if that's the GI or the German that previously owned this or won this. We'll get to the winning part. This is early. You see the brass stud, and it is AK marked under here. You see the AK logo, crossed rifles, and then the DRGM. So let's pull the gun out, and you also see an average looking PPK. Now, this PPK was made in about 1934, early 1934, and you see the high polished finish, but it does have some wear issues here, and also a little bit of pitting or corrosion. And the front strap is the important part. I want to show you the other side. You see some pitting in here. So it wasn't kept in pristine condition, maybe even used during the war. You especially see some corrosion here. Maybe because it was left in a holster. Holsters often cause that kind of corrosion because wherever it hits the holster, a lot of times moisture seeps in, or if it's humid out, the leather will absorb some of that moisture. And when you hold it in the holster, that causes that corrosion. And that's why I did a video on how to take care of your PPK, and I said always put a thin layer between the gun and the holster. You can go back and watch that if you would like more information. But let's get to the front grip strap. So here you can probably barely see it, very faintly written, and somebody put the little white wax in there just to make it a little bit more visible. But let me give you my interpretation of what this says. So we see Danzig Street Championship, or perhaps that would, in English, would be translated Road Rally. So Danzig Road Rally, 1934, which is the year the gun was made as well. Group prize for relay race. Now, we know that they had, this was the NSKK. This was a road rally sponsored by the NSKK. And it could have been auto road race, and actually they call it a relay race, so probably people drove legs of a race. So this was a relay race, which would imply to me that probably more than one person got it. If it was a relay with 4 people on the team, then I would assume there are 4 of these. This is the only one I've ever seen or known about. I just noticed there are initials here. It looks like JG. So again, a road rally NSKK prize for first place at the road rally in Danzig. We're going to say a little bit about that, but let's talk about some of these road rallies. So let's start off with a little bit of history. You know how much I love history, and I've done previous videos where I talked about the period of time between the wars. So after World War I, the German economy is decimated. They had over 1 million soldiers in the German army, and after the Treaty of Versailles, they were restricted to only 100,000 soldiers in the army. That means there's a lot of unemployed young men wandering the country looking for something to do, and there were no jobs available. And so that's why we had the political unrest. You had some violence and street protests that turned violent. You had the extreme parties like the Communists and the National Socialist Party gaining momentum just because people were unhappy. Now, when Hitler came to power, he was elected in 33 and came to power in 34. One of the things he did with these young men is he put together clubs, and they loved competition. I really think this is what led up to the Olympic Games being held in Berlin. There was so much hype about that, not only because of Hitler, but mostly because Germany was so in tune with competition, and they wanted to be the best in the world at everything. Now, that didn't turn out too well for them, but at that period of time, Hitler was putting together clubs for young men and young women to give them jobs, but also to give them something to do. So we know at the beginning of the essay, what they did on the weekends is they got together and they had competitions. That included shooting competitions. We've talked about that. I've done videos on that. They did sporting events, a lot of sporting events, where they would find the best athletes throughout Germany and feature them then in the 36 Olympics. But also we know about the NSFK, which the Luftwaffe was banned. Not only did they have only 100,000 soldiers, but they had no air force. The Luftwaffe was banned, so they put together a flying club. I actually, this week, along with the gun that I just showed you, I had this disc come in I found fascinating. I'm gonna show it to you, so come on in. So I've done videos before on the NSFK, which is not the Luftwaffe. It was actually a flying club. In fact, NS, National Socialist Fliegerkorps, which is Flight Corps. And this disc went to the Commandant there. I think that means Commandant. And you can see this was 1938. And unlike the police disc and the Gestapo disc, they would stick it in their pocket. This is a little too big for your pocket. Actually reminds me a little bit of our challenge coin. Check out our challenge coin. Here's a picture of one. We just got them in, and I'm all excited because you guys are excited about my challenge coins. But this was a disc. On the back, we see this inscription and a number. So I'm not sure, that doesn't make sense that there wouldn't be 6,000 commandants. So I'm not sure about the number. Maybe somebody knows more about these than I do. For those of you who speak German, you can help me out with the inscription. But this is what I came up with using Google Translate. It's in step with our Führer, or in English, we might say hand in hand with our Führer. But in step with our Führer, we fly for our eternal Germany, or we eternally fly for Germany, but basically we're with you forever, hand in hand with our Führer. Something approximately like that, but again, for those of you who are German, we'd love to hear from you. So this is a disc I've never seen before, but the point of all this is to tell you about the flying clubs as well as the car clubs and the motorcycle clubs. So the flight clubs also had competitions that they would hold, and they would have relay races. They would have acrobatics competitions, and you can see here that a lot of young men joined, learned how to fly. They also, because there was very few planes, they used a lot of gliders in this competition. So you have the essay competition, you have the flight club competitions, you have the motor club competition, which included motorcycles. There's also, we did a video about the Tyrolean. In the Tyrolean district, the Alpine region of Germany, they would have regular shooting competitions, which later became an Olympic event where people would use their skis in a race and then stop and shoot and then keep going. And so we did a video about the Tyrolean, which was a shooter prize. There's a picture of one here with the Tyrolean eagle, very rare and very sought after by collectors. And that leads me to another gun that is actually on auction tonight. Now, I have to smile and laugh a little bit because this is an auction that ends at 5 o'clock today. I'm shooting this video not knowing whether or not I'm going to win. And several of you, there's probably about 5 people who are subscribers to my channel who wrote and said, hey Tom, check this out. This would make a great video. So this gun, and we can just page through the pictures, this is just a regular commercial PP made in 1940, but it was given out at a shooting competition. You can see here at the bottom is the pin, the NSKK pin, award in 1943. This plaque that looks like it was case hardened. At first I thought it was tarnished, but I think that's on purpose. It looks like it's case hardened. And the inscription says first place in the shooting competition in 1943. You also see the NSKK insignia. And finally, you see this case, which I'm sure is not factory, but was custom made, very nicely done. And so if I'm bidding on this, you know that I believe this is real, that this was part of a prize to the person who took first place in the motor group competition in 1943. Very cool gun, and I hope to show it to you soon live and in person. If only the rest of you would stop bidding, I could get it. Okay, now quickly back, although I love staring at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now back to this gun. Why Danzig? Because Danzig was part of Poland in 1943, and I thought, well, why would the NSKK have a road rally in Poland? And I think I have an answer. Because when I looked it up, it turns out that Danzig, if you look at this map, is between Prussia and Germany. So Germany, as a result of, at the end of World War I, was split. And there's this Danzig corridor where people from one part of Germany would go over to the other part of Germany, and it was along the Baltic Sea coastline. So this is a famous area for vacationing, for people getting away, very idyllic. To have a road rally there would be kind of like today having a road rally in Monte Cristo. It's just a place where tourists went. And in fact, that Danzig corridor, and if you know your history, that's where World War I broke out. Because that's where the Germans invaded or crossed the line into Danzig corridor. And in fact, there wasn't much of a fight because I believe the majority of the population were German descent, spoke German, German descent. So it was an area that was very pro-Germany, and that's where World War I started in September 1st of 1939. So they crossed at the Danzig corridor. But again, it was like a resort town. And so it makes sense that that's where they would have a road rally because everybody would like to go there. Beautiful weekend in the fall. I can just imagine beautiful weekend in the fall. That road rally would have been a beautiful place to go. The only other thing that I wanted to say about this gun is it's already sold. So sorry about that. Those of you who might have been interested in it. It actually sold before I even did the video. Somebody heard about the gun as soon as it came in and bought it on the spot. But I said, let me do the video first and then we'll send it out. So this gun is already sold. I do have, as a bonus for you, I have another gun I wanted to show you. Now, no extra charge for showing you this gun. But this came in yesterday and it blew me away. Check this out. Came in yesterday. So first and foremost, if this was a Krieghoff, it would be possible. But Mauser and DWM, Erfurt, all of the Luger makers other than Krieghoff never made an engraved gun like this. So I know right away, this is, by the way, DWM. I'm going to come up closer soon. This is deeply engraved. This gun defies the laws of nature. It actually has the name of the artist here, Schostel. I have a picture of him. He does have a website. Now, he is famous for engraving knives, but he also, as I looked at different websites, he's engraved Colt pythons. He's done quite a number of Colts, and you can see that here. He's done PPs. Oh, I saw a Browning high power that he engraved. Phenomenal work. Hey, let's take a look up close. I've seen other engraved Lugers, and what makes this defy the laws of nature is how deeply this is engraved. If you look at the barrel, this is more deeply engraved than my engraved Krieghoff. And the reason this is near impossible to do is the engraving was done in soft metal typically. But once the metal was hardened, it's very hard to engrave this deeply into the metal. So I'm not sure what the process is for him to do this, but kudos to Ben for the quality of work that we see here. I'll just go around and tell you a little bit about the gun. First and foremost, it was just put together from parts. So he took a, what I quote unquote, shooter grade Luger. You can see it's a 1920 DWM. Most of the numbers match 07, so DWM 1920. So this was a commercial 9mm that he started off with. However, I believe the frame is Mauser made, and that is because of several features on here that are probably above your pay grade, but there's things like the dimple at the top here, the way the teardrop here is not a half moon, but long and short of it, I believe this is a Mauser frame, DW upper, and also you can see where this was renumbered to match. So he took a parts gun, made it all matching, except he missed a spot right there. That's number 19, should be 07. He did put his name right here, and these are faux ivory grips. Some of you may like that or not. I like just a plain grip. And we got a picture of I don't know what the heck that is. I'm going to have to get my magnifying glass. I'm not sure what that marking is. But anyway, we have a naked lady on here. But just look at the quality of engraving. Now, Ben probably could have spent a little bit more money and got a quality magazine, because this actually, you can hear it, it scrapes, doesn't quite fit. It's a post-war magazine. It is numbered to match. And that has number 2 on it, which means number 1 is floating around there somewhere. But like I said, this came in yesterday, and I'm doing the video, so I thought I just have to show this to you because the workmanship on this is absolutely fantastic. Even the grip screw, notice how that is engraved on both sides. I don't think I did the back strap and the front strap and the trigger guard. Just beautifully engraved. Just love it. I just love staring at it. And this will be offered on our website. Oh, one other thing, notice this. It's a police sear safety. So a commercial gun, police sear safety, Mauser frame, put it all together and made this beautiful piece of art. Now, it's not for everybody. Some people are going to comment and say, he ruined a gun. I have to give him credit on this. This is just impossible for me to imagine how he engraved hardened metal like this. Some of you will comment about the process. Some of you metallurgists will weigh in on this and educate me. I appreciate it. Hey guys, some really cool stuff today. I hope you enjoyed it. Root for me tonight, 5 o'clock tonight, that ends. And here's my parting shot to all of you. This has got to be the shot of the year. Check that out. Oh my gosh. Wish my hands weren't in the way. Actually, let's lay them down and get a picture. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I do have some more takedown videos coming up, and I have another engraved Walther PP that'll rock your world.